The most important thing when you are deciding what characters to put in your story is that each one serves a purpose. And when you break it down into types, it's not necessarily personality types, because that should be as unique as your fingerprint. When I think about the 5 specific characters that I like to use in every script, they all revolve around one thing, and that is the writer's premise. The writer's premise is different from a lot of other people's version of a premise. For me, the writer's premise is what the author or the writer of the material is trying to say with their work. They have made some observation about the real world, and they have come up with a solution to a problem that it exists in the world, and hopefully one that we haven't heard a million times. And in trying to prove that solution, what you have is a set of characters who are acting out situations that prove that point and argue against it so strongly that when it is proven emphatically, because they have succeeded over it. So the 5 characters I use are a protagonist, an antagonist, a mentor, an ally, and a love interest. And each one of them serves that journey in a very specific way. You have a protagonist who has 2 journeys. They have an inner journey and an outer journey. The outer journey is what they're trying to physically accomplish during the story, during which it is so trying and so hard to endure that an inner journey takes place that was subconscious and never intended when they went out on that outer journey. And that inner journey is how they change, and it is the lesson that they learn because that's what the writer wanted them to learn. They are the embodiment of the education and the statement that the writer is trying to get across to the audience. So you have an antagonist who will argue against the character's outer journey and push against and fight against everything they can do to stop the protagonist from succeeding in what they're trying to achieve. Because the whole idea is that no matter what happens, even if they don't even know each other, that the antagonist will have a goal and a mission that if they succeed, the protagonist cannot achieve their mission. They don't have to know anything about each other. One can want to have a long life with the love of his life or love of her life, and the other guy can want to destroy the planet. If he destroys the planet or she destroys the planet, you cannot have a long life with the person you love. So the idea is that you have something working against the physical embodiment of what they're trying to accomplish physically in the outer world, right? Then you have characters who support that outer journey that send them on guideposts. So they have people supporting them from the bottom and from the top. You have a mentor who is somebody who has more experience perhaps than the protagonist, or at least is higher ranking, to give them some guidance possibly on how to act and how to go about doing the thing that they're supposed to be trying to do. And then you have allies, who are characters who are on the same level or beneath that character in rank, who are supporting them in achieving whatever that physical goal is. So you have, those are the characters that are on the outer journey. Now on the inner journey, you have a love interest. And this is one of the most important characters in any story, and it often is underused and underutilized and underwritten. They are not a trophy. They are not something to be won. What it is this character is the inspiration for change. Changing as a human being is an incredibly difficult thing to do. And the only way to make a character fully realistic in the reading of the story is showing the difficulty with changing what your habits are and how you behave in this world. So that love interest, love is the one reason we would change. Whether it's a love of a person, love of family, love of life, love of freedom, whatever it is, you will change for something you love. And the love interest is the impetus for change, and they hold the protagonist to that push for achieving what they need to on the inside, which will lead them to success on the outside of the outer journey. And then you're like, okay, well then who's fighting that inner journey? What's the example? We don't need an example. The protagonist is their own worst enemy on interchange because we don't want to change. It's hard to change. It takes work. It takes practice. We are in the habit of existing how we exist. And the showing of that struggle is what makes that character believable, realistic, and puts us in their hearts and in their minds because we feel their evolution happen because they are fighting it every step of the way. We see the struggle and we watch the breakthrough. So those are the 5 characters.